as the chief and Mayor Lucas, as we are feverishly working to make sure that we don't have the same challenges that we had last year at budget time. And so I am extremely excited to be making progress up front so that we don't have to try to do this on the back end. So, Chief or Mayor, I will ask either of you to jump right in and kind of bring us up to speed with your conversations.
Mayor, would you like to start off?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start off. As you're all probably aware, hopefully you can hear me fine. We have a deadline under the Kansas City Charter to introduce a budget by, I believe, February 10th. What that means is that we'll need to have certain answers on budget areas, including the police budget, a significant part of it, in short time, and potentially actually by the end of this week, so that we can begin certain items like even printing the budget book, making sure we're making arrangements. Occasionally in the city budget, if you're eliminating departments or something of that sort, you start to let people who will be terminated know such things. That's certainly not part of the conversation here, but part of the conversation here is how do we look to and how do we plan to properly both assess the budget number and look at any separations in budget items among other items from the city. And so the chief and I and members of command staff, the city manager and the finance director in Kansas City met on Martin Luther King Day for roughly 90 minutes on a number of budget items. I believe we both thought it was appropriate to come to the board for further discussion. I will also note that I would have an interest in a closed session discussion probably from this point on, point being because I believe, at least I'll propose, that we discuss certain contractual arrangements as between the police department and the city. I'm happy to get into those further, but I think that would be the appropriate forum for that. So that's at least my introductory line. I'll make a motion at some point later. I don't know if, Chief, you have anything to add or if there may be other questions.
Well, I came, back after our discussion. A little more detail, if that's okay, Mayor. I think what the city proposed and what you and the city manager proposed was to give us the same amount of money as we were awarded last year.
I'd actually like us, before we go to that, to not do all of that, since the budget itself is not a complete document. And so I would ask for the contractual discussion to be within the confines of a closed session.
Okay. Right.
I'd like to have advice from our lawyer as to whether
To the extent
but
you are
discussion
seeking, to the extent you're seeking legal advice, and I would be providing that advice as to what is permissible and non-permissible under Chapter 84, that is something that can be handled in closed.
okay.
Should I make I'll make a motion pursuant to RISMO Section 610 that we go into a closed session discussion to discuss certain contractual items and thus legal items as well, which I believe are two exceptions.
Do we have a second on that?
Second.
All right, it's been moved and second that we go out of open session into close, and we would need
Need
a
a roll call for that.
right. We would need a roll call vote for that.
Dean, aye.
Greiger, aye.
Kramer, aye.
Talbot, aye. And so we will now go out of open session into close. So we will need to clear the room, or we'll go to the back room.
Nope, we'll stay
We're
right
gonna
here.
clean the room? Okay,
But we stay on the same phone line, right?
Correct.
Yes.
yes.